get it. And you know what they say about opinions, right?
I don't give a damn. They like,
don't you even start your stuff.
Girl, come on. I don't give a damn. I'm ready.
You always ready. You stay ready because you ain't got to get ready.
You already know. Because it's about what? To each his own. Hello, Summer. How are you? Summer is here. She came back with a bag. I thought they changed up on this. That raining and then being cool that it did last week. It did not do that this week. No. And then that joint was like, I'm coming out with a bang. And you know it's summer because I'm sorry I had to laugh. Because I know I said this to you, I think like the other day. 23 wheelchairs coming off the airplane. Yes. One flight of bitches full of BBLs. Ridiculous. That's not the attendant said if you can walk. Yeah.
At this point, because like we don't have enough people.
No, real shit, we don't got enough staff
for all of this. Y'all want to go around it and fill it.
I'm sorry, that was one of the funniest things I saw over the last week outside of the Republic.
After y'all get all hacked up in the airport, all hopping around everywhere.
It was the video for me. When I saw the footage, I was like, and you could see even through their masks, I'm like, yo, this is all young women. All young women.
Doing all of that for what?
I'm like, was it a special? Was it a sale going on?
No, everybody just got they got their money at the same time.
Like, and y'all all went to the same place. It was the meme, but it said, they gonna say the doctors this weekend after. And it was the one he was linked over stressed out.
I know they made a killing. I know they've been making a killing.
I really want to know if anybody, because I want to know how much the surgery is, just because.
It depends on where you're going, though. I've heard some people paying like $5,000. It depends on where you're going. Honestly, it really depends on where you're going.
Yeah, well, what's the range?
And the different kinds that they got. Because you know, some people get shots, but some people get the implants put in and then get injections around it to make it appear to be more real. So it won't be like hard.
Like fillers?
Yeah, like, yup, they get shit injected around like they put an implant in their actual ass and then they inject shit around it to like fill it out.
Okay, I knew about the implant, but that filler piece, I wasn't. Okay. Well, in other news.
It's a lot.
Well, it's like a 6 to 8 week healing process though today. So y'all all coming back now. It's the end of June. We going into the 4th. Y'all went and got summer bodies that y'all can't even wear this summer because y'all gonna be hacked up in the house.
They're a little late.
So y'all get prepared
for
the fall or next
process
summer.
Isn't the same though. I mean, they give you an average, but like we all know, people don't follow directions. So
I'm like, it's at least 4 to 6 weeks for the average person though, isn't it?
But I'm just saying, you never know. Shit could go wrong. Things like
That's
that.
What I'm saying though. For the simple fact that for the simple fact that you got opened up.
And I'm not,
like
I'm not wishing bad on nobody, but it's
just
that's
what I'm saying. Like
that's major surgery.
Like a standard healing process that you know.
It is. It is a standard healing process, but not everybody heals the same. Is what I'm trying to say. Just
right, yeah,
somebody they might say 6 to 8 weeks. Somebody might be healed by that 6 weeks. They might be good to go. Your ass might still have 9 weeks. Might still be so like holding on tight for dear life.
I don't know. I think I would do if I was in that position. I would go with the maximum of the.
Just to make sure everything is
healing
point. Because you still gotta wear like all your stuff
or look or whatever. Absolutely, I would go with the maximum healing time. The doctor told me 8 weeks. Then this one will be 8 weeks. And on the day of the 8th week, last day of the 8th week, we gonna get a little evaluation. Doc, can we be sure about this?
Yeah, because you still gotta wear the faja and things like that, just to keep everything in place. You gotta wear it. Like it's a lot.
I'm like, and to be honest, y'all got there because I can't imagine doing it in the summertime.
You take it off for like 1 hour or something.
It's a lot. That's a lot. I get irritated and agitated in the summer. I felt like that earlier. I'm like, I could feel the heat from inside out, and I could not be doing no stuff like that in the summertime. I would be one agitated chica.
Extra layer of clothing nobody feels like wearing because I damn sure I don't even want to wear a bra for real.
We talked about this. We had this bra conversation.
I'm just keeping it a bean, especially when it's hot. Oh, that underwire is killage. Like, oh shit, it be hot.
And I heard it's so bad for us. It's so bad for us. And I You know, I don't have any comfort.
Sometimes I go without zombie in the time.
I got all bone. This wire up on this breastplate is not gonna work for me. So
I apologize if I'm sleeping extra hard today. I got a little migraine on my fault. My head has been killing me all day long. I woke up with this headache.
oh,
I've been trying to get rid of it. Like, I think it's the heat. It's about to be so hot.
yes, the heat is about to kill all of us. I was so drained after doing surgery. I was like, oh no, I have to die. Listen, I'm a napper. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm like a kid. I like my little sleep. I like my little naps. And I be having to take a nap, especially in heat like this. It's very, very draining and exhausting.
I was in and out of sleep today. I had to. My head was like killing me. Killing me. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, please go away. But it's just trying to hang on.
Migraine, go away. Don't come back. No way.
I'm like, I don't even want to smell the heat. Keep me in the AC.
Smell heat?
For real. Seriously, you know when heat get you, it's on. Protect your neck, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Protect your chest and your neck.
Speaking of it's on, ma'am, it's on like popcorn for the next 22 and a half years for Derek Chauvin because his ass got sentenced for good old George Floyd. Okay? And I think it was that I was so excited yet disheartened when you know, showed me the video of the daughter. Like I guess it was a part of the testimony
at court
of his daughter asking about, you know, what did she miss most about her dad, what did they used to do, so on and so forth. And I was just like, you can kind of tell for me, you can kind of tell for at the age she is, she really doesn't understand the grasp, the understanding of death. Like she understands that her dad is not here, but she really doesn't understand the concept of death and how that takes place. Like she even said in the
and what exactly happened to
right. She just said, you know, I know, you know, people they're talking about him because the people did something bad to him. She only hears that. That's the version of what she hears of. Told, yeah. Right. And I just that part about it for me was just it was so sad. Yeah. It was so sad. But it was the reaction though. I think a lot of individuals in the black community specifically were saying, you know, 22 and a half years is not enough. Why didn't he get life? So on and so forth. And what I want people to understand is, in general, if you don't know anything about the criminal justice system, the standard for life is 25 years.
Right. Absolutely.
When an individual receives a life sentence, that is a standard 25 years. When you hear life on top of, and they add all those other years, those different years and things are added because of different charges and the brackets of the tiers that those charges fall under. But generally, when somebody receives a life sentence, it's generally a 25-year sentence. Right. And if they get to the 25-year point and they're still alive and there's no additional sentences added on, and if they're eligible for parole, because it's a difference between life without parole and life with parole, then at that point, you know, they would unfortunately be eligible to go up for parole and see if they're able to get out. But look at the time frame that's given. If you're, God forbid, 15 years old and receive a 25-year sentence, look at how old you'll be when you get out. Yeah. God forbid, if you're anything older than that, you're still looking at that's a significant amount of time taken away from somebody in an area, in a confinement like that. They're not going to be the same.
You spend your prime incarcerated.
Right. They're not going to be the same. So I want people to understand the concept of, 22 and a half years, it wasn't nothing. I see what you mean, but he damn near got a life sentence.
He got served like a generation in jail.
Yeah. So,
generation is 25
and
years.
Let's be clear.
And
that man,
the rest of it must have just been time served.
And he's middle aged, right? I think the rest of it was time served. I think that's why I wasn't a 25-year life sentence, because at this point it was the time served.
He's already been, you know.
Exactly. So that's what I want people to understand and look at. He's a middle aged man. A 22 and a half year sentence for him is it's done. It's a wrap. And I mean, I'm minding my business.
He might die in jail.
I'm about to say, who knows?
He might die in jail.
He's going to make it, all 22 and a half years.
Yeah.
You never
He
know.
just might die in jail.
People get 10-year sentences and never make it all the way through. People get 15-year sentences and never make it all the way through. So you just never know. So I want people to, relax. Everybody relax. We did get a level of justice. So I just want people to be more understanding of what goes on behind systems and things like that. Like, let's be clear, we are lucky as a black community that he even got the sentence that he received. Look at how many individuals didn't receive a proper sentence or a sentence at all. They're doing exactly what he did.
The same exact thing, yeah. It happens
and
all
we
the
talk
time.
about, oh, we didn't get no justice, no, nothing got done. Well, now here's a time where something did get done, and a level of justice was served, and we still not satisfied. And black people as a whole, that's just one thing that I just pray for, that part of our mindset that we just stop doing, the mindset of just never being satisfied, because others, which meaning by other cultures, other races, other ethnicities, that is exactly one of the biggest condescending arguments that they have concerning us, is because it's like, you guys are never satisfied. Like, you can ask for this, you can get this, but you're still not satisfied. So I just want us to, again, just be a little bit more understanding when it comes to certain things. Not all, certain things. When it comes to the criminal justice system, understand it a little bit more and know that he did ultimately receive a life sentence. So that's my thoughts on that. And
amen to that.
what I've been thinking about
We
too.
all want more, but amen to that.
So,
Yeah.
any thoughts from you?
That's about
And our young Miss Floyd. So, I want to know, I know you got a migraine today, but do you want to do it or not want to do it? Introduce the new part of the segment, or do you want to wait?
We can wait because it wouldn't be at this point anyway. We can go to the first topic. We can go right to the first topic.
All right. So, just some quirks here. Sorry, y'all. We just wanted to make sure. All right. Dad by default. First of all, we definitely want to give a shout out to the celebrity dads that's doing their thing, and great dads. One of the most, I want to say, favorite dads in the industry. Definitely did his thing in the verses last night. Mr. Shad Moss, aka Bow Wow, aka Mr. 106 and Park, all his AKAs that he got, that he went through. They killed it. I think he's a great dad. I think they did a great job. How do you feel about the way that the system is kind of set up when it comes to, if there are fathers that happen to get caught up with having to pay child support, but then find out later on down the line that the child is not theirs and are still required to pay child support, and that whole kind of scenario?
I think that's bullshit. I think they should be reimbursed. Just like sort of like how when people are wrongfully accused and they go to jail and they have their whole record expunged, and although you can't give them their time back, they at least owe them that. But I feel like they could give them I feel like they should give them even more than that. How dare you tell me I still have to support a child that is not mine? I've done this much thus far. I feel like it's very unfortunate. I really do. It sucks to be in that position. I don't know who the hell came up with that shit. I'm not here for it. Yeah, every penny plus interest, exactly. Because then you got to think about it. Who knows what this man had to go through to pay this, child support and still maintain his lifestyle or whatever. It's just unfortunate. It really is. I can't imagine having that. I don't want to say a burden, but that big of a responsibility, and then you finding out, oh damn, I'm not even your pop for real, and I just was sitting here doing whatever. You could have been running a business or working 3 jobs, and you trying to support them and whatever they got going on because you're that parent, and then you find out later on, it's just like, where's the justice for that? That's bullshit too, honestly. That's baby back bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. My mom and I were actually having a conversation recently, because of course Father's Day was just recently, so we were having a conversation about it recently, and I was asking her specifically about the rules when it comes down to child support, and when you find out the child is not yours, because of course I have a great relationship with my father, but I was a child that received child support, and from the basic standard of what I understood child support is, the father pays child support, is continuous. He's not obligated to do anything outside of that.
Right.
I kind of have some gripes with it. Of course, naturally, I think we all do. If you birth a child, you shouldn't just be cutting a check, because we all know, child support check or not, that money is not enough to even substitute what the primary parent is doing for the child. But that time and all of those things, that stuff makes a difference in the child's, development and growth and different things like that. But she was mentioning something specific about, like, the mom had claimed, like, that this was the dad, but even if the dad didn't accept paternity or sign the birth certificate, like, if the mom stated this man's name, that that's the person they would put on the birth certificate. That used to be,
yeah.
And I was like, who the hell, like you said, who the hell came up with that? I said, how would that be the, so I can say, Billy Joe is my baby father, and y'all be able to go after him? And she said, yeah. She said, and when that law was in place, it used to be that even if the mother came back and said that she lied about the statement and that wasn't the dad, the father still couldn't come off of child support. It would have to be that the biological father stepped up to claim paternity and say, that I want to take responsibility. He has to say, I want to take responsibility for the child. Even if he's identified, they would not require the biological father to pay. I said, I am so glad that rule changed, because that is some bullshit.
That's creating a rift. That's stupid.
I said, are you serious? They really, I know this might sound crazy coming from me because I'm a woman, but I understand why when it comes to certain things, it kind of seems like they gave women I don't want to say too much power, but they created it in a way where men would just always look fucked up. When it comes to children specifically, when it comes to children, I feel like the rules are just always created around moms, and the dads are just not really considered at all. It's always comes from the scenario of the dad is going to be the fuck up, so it's set up for the dad to kind of fail almost.
Counting it out.
Counting them out.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's fair at all.
As a father, I be asking these same questions, and it's frustrating as fuck. I can only imagine. Yeah. I really, that's unfortunate. And then after that, it's just like, how do you tell that person, like, I'm not a parent, so I don't know how I would feel it, but I know that situation will have to be crazy, because it's like, okay, now I gotta pay child support, and you want me to be in this child life knowing that I'm not, like, it's just like, it's not the child's fault, but somebody could feel indifferent towards that. Somebody could feel, angry.
Yeah, and I agree. It should be an automatic blood test to prove that the man is the father, especially when the women are getting away with lying about it. I wholeheartedly agree. I personally feel like, for one, being a parent you should have a license to be a parent. It should be like getting a driver's license, because there's a lot of parents who are out here who are unfit.
And emotional tests.
Yeah, it should be a whole lot of testing before you're allowed to be a parent. You should go through some things. Okay, you're in a fit mindset and mentally, emotionally stable enough to be a parent. That's what I think should be automatic moving forward. On top of that shit, I think it should automatically be a blood test who's the child's father? Blood test the child.
Yeah, I think it was the half-ass attempt at that was the free paternity test at birth, but y'all count, if he's not there, then
correct.
The fuck, like, you know what I mean?
And I think it should be an automatic standard that if a woman is bringing a man into court for child support, that it's automatic blood testing. At that point, like I said, I do agree with that half-ass attempt with the free testing at birth, but if he's not there, so if, like one of our tribe members is saying, if a woman is getting away with lying about it, okay, if she's saying that he's the dad and you're saying that you want to bring him into court, it should be, I don't care if he signed the birth certificate or not.
Yeah.
I think it should be automatic blood testing if you're taking a man or a woman into paternity court.
Required.
I think it should be a requirement, because the shit is just not fair.
It's not.
There's some men, unfortunately still walking around today, taking care of children,
fathering children that
are not there. And we big ups to you guys. Thank you, so much for being empowered and inspiring those children and being a support for them. But I don't think a lie is what should have made it come about. You know what I mean? I don't think
that's the most unfortunate part about it.
Shouldn't have been a lie, and that's not fair. And it always reminds me of Marvy. Yes, because Marvy is famous for doing the paternity test, and Marvy was one of my favorite shows.
All them families,
but right. Marvy was one of my favorite shows to watch. I used to want to go one more time, try to watch for a 3 o'clock. Child, when they changed the time, I used to was upset, girl. I was upset. But yes, and the lie the test determines, that was a lie. That was my favorite thing to hear. And sometimes I would just sit back, I would really be looking at the families, looking at the babies, and I'd be right half the time. I could be a guessing game.
Like, oh, he ain't the
yes, I was like, he ain't the dad. I just know, but it would be quite a few times where I would be utterly and completely shocked that, oh, damn, he not the daddy. Oh, that baby got some of his features. And well, you know what I used to think at that point? Oh, well, damn, she must got a type because she must fuck niggas who look alike.
brother, what is it called? Brother husbands.
Brother husbands.
Sister wives and brother husbands. I'm hollering right now. I can't do. That's a lot.
That's what I started to
the
think
dad's
about.
by default. That's a crazy situation though. There's a lot of that going on. A lot of guys stepping up to the plate and taking care of kids. Yeah. I do see that happening. It's very rare, you know.
Stepdads too. Stepdads is really, you know, playing point. If you meet a woman, you fall in love with her. She already has children that are previously.
They're a package deal.
They're a package deal, absolutely. So, you know,
when you're dating, period, even as a woman,
right?
Even me as a single person with no children, I know that. I understand that.
Right.
Because guess what? My mother was single, and so was my father. And whoever they dated had to know that my parents were single parents with multiple children. My dad had 5. My mama had 2. What it did?
Because and my mom didn't date, you know, many men after my father, but the men that she did date, them niggas knew.
Right.
Them niggas knew she ain't a big deal. At the least, I made it known.
Yeah, because it's a big responsibility to step up and do that.
You know, I was also the other female, so of course I always had this, and it's sad to say, but as a young child, I'm not sure if there's any other women that felt like this when they were younger and their moms were dating men and they met them, but I was always very conscious of knowing them and knowing what kind of person that they were, because I had to make sure that they wasn't the kind of people that
we were overprotective of our mother. Yes.
I had to make sure you wasn't touch kids, little boys or little girls, and I was the oldest girl.
Yep, me too.
I'm the only girl and I'm the oldest child, so I always was like real, like eerie, like making sure, because of course I trusted in my mother's judgment and men, but as a young girl I had my own individual
idea and perception,
right?
And also you had growing up and realizing that everybody's not going to be like your dad either. You know what I mean?
Right. Or the men in your family that you already are close with.
People are raised differently.
Relationships with. So yeah, I definitely I was always eerie about that. I mean, and God has handled my. Thank God I never had any issues, but I was always prepared for it because my mom was always the type.
She would ask questions. My mother asked questions.
And my mom raised me. If somebody touches you, I don't care if they tell you that they're going to kill you or me. You always say
tell
something.
me, yeah.
You always say something. My mom embedded that into me and beat that into my head. You always say something.
Absolutely.
So I was always. It's unfortunate to say, but I was always kind of like prepared for something to happen and kind of like ready for this shit. Cause I was a rough one. I was a little aggressive girl as a kid. So I had all kinds of thoughts going to my head to be ready in case somebody tried.
I can't stand you. I really cannot stand you.
Because you know how we watch movies, you watch shows and you...
Yeah, not only that, but
like, oh my God,
even talking to your friend, even talking to your friends.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You just know about different things. And it's just like, oh my goodness, if that ever happened to me, like my heart would just start like fluttering. And again, at that time, like I probably was a little crazy kid on the couch. My mom just said no, because I used to start thinking of what kind of stuff to do to people if they ever tried.
I can't do it with you.
I did. I wasn't.
How long until you introduce your
children? Oh my God, that is a great question.
Oh, I don't know. You want to know what's crazy? See, neither one of us have children, so that's a really tricky question to answer. But I feel like if you do it too quick, I'm leery of that. But I have and will stop dealing with somebody because I felt like I should have been more involved. I'm just gonna put it like that. It was pretty weird. I feel like if you're taking a person serious, they should be around your child. They should, because they need to get to know each other. They need to be able to, figure out each other's personality, get used to being around one another.
But I also think you shouldn't introduce somebody to your children until you're actually taking a person serious.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I've told men before, I don't want to meet your kids. Because I felt like at the time it was too soon. So, no. So
he says women introduce their children too soon in his opinion. Men be more standoffish from his experience. Oh yeah, in some cases I do feel like, there are, I can say, not particularly the you know, people that I know, generally speaking, might be some here or there, but you know, the women that I know don't really bring guys around their children unless they're serious and there's somebody that they're going to be in a relationship with, that they're seeing like it's something solid. Other than that, if you just, you know, slide and you just dating and you just having fun, there's no need for them to meet your kids. It's just not.
Right.
You should know that they are a parent, yeah, but should you be interacting with their children? No. Not on that. That's a different level of intimacy that, you know, comes with that. So yes, I do think that there should be a level of exclusivity there. I think that, yeah, I think if you become exclusive with somebody, they should be meeting your kids. That at that moment, that's when the kids should come into play, right then and there. On a serious note, like that I feel like that is good. Yep, you should stay from the door that you have a child or children, but only introduce them if it gets serious. Absolutely.
And you should absolutely know that somebody has children.
Yeah, whether it's serious or not.
That is a fucking.
Because it's weird to not know that.
Like, it's okay for me not to meet your children, but you just not telling me that you had kids, no, that's a problem. That's a deal breaker. So the moment I find out you have kids and it's been some time and I didn't know prior to that, I don't even want to date you no more.
Yeah.
Because that's a deal breaker.
It's a little weird.
Why did I not know you had kids?
That's a little weird.
Or you lying about how many children that you have. Like, come on, like, that's weird. Like, you're not doing that. Because in my eyes, that's denying your children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how anybody else feels about it. That's why I said in my eyes, that's denying your children. Everybody who knows you exist should know you fucking have children.
Absolutely. As a parent, yeah. You represent that. You're responsible for them.
Once you become a parent,
everybody, you're responsible for them.
All they know is you.
Absolutely.
All they know is you.
All they know is you. So yeah, I do believe, yes, stepping up. But speaking of dads and speaking of parents, I'm sorry, y'all, we took a major left. I think that was a very good question. I think that's a very good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, especially when you're a young parent, people need to have more conversations with their older counterparts and people who have been, you know, dating as parents to, you know, kind of sort of get some mentorship as to how they should go about moving in that way, because not everybody knows. Parenting doesn't come with a manual. Even when it comes to your friends, you have to be wary of who you let around your children. So not even just romantic relationships.
Not a good influence for your child.
Yeah, platonic relationships
you could have a
family, everything.
You could have a good relationship with somebody, but you know that they're not the best influence to be around your child. I mean, I jokingly said about myself, like, I'm not the person that you need to bring around kids, but I say that jokingly for like my wretched side, because I'm not, again, I don't have children, so I don't feel like I always have to, I'm not censored.
Right.
I'm not censored at all because I'm not around children.
I don't live the PBS lifestyle.
I don't PBS,
Coco Melon.
Yeah, I'm not about that life. Like, I'm about all adulthood, strict partying, sex, drugs, and cash, and my little Kim voice. I'm hollering. I'm screaming. Trapper of the year over here. That's the lifestyle that I live. I live the lifestyle of a true adult. A true adult. And I think you feel me, sister, when I say that. Instead of you don't have any children.
Yeah, we don't be thinking about it.
So it's certain things exactly that we don't even fucking think about or consider because we don't have children. If I'm walking past,
I do that enough on
I'm not going to be, if I'm in a event or situation, if I'm at a barbecue, I'm at a cookout, as y'all can see, I talk the way I talk. Ain't nobody going to tell me, oh, stop cursing because it's kids around. Bitch, fuck you and your kids. That's going to be my first response. Because again, naturally, I'm not censored to be around children. I understand your mindset as a parent, and I will respect that. But you also need to, some parents need to remember not to bring your children in most adult-like scenarios and situations.
I was going to say that too.
That's fucked up. You can't bring your child to an adult-like event and expect adults to be sensitive around your children. Y'all gotta stop doing it.
Not adult-like any adult events, period. It's this new era of you have to put no kids on everything. Because everybody trying to bring their kids everything.
It's not my
That's
fault
why
you
they
can't
run
find a
this
babysitter.
shit.
It's okay if you can't make this.
You just gotta miss out.
You gotta come to the next one. But what you're not gonna do is fuck up my adult vibe by bringing the Rugrats.
And make me subject to having
You're not bringing Susie Carmichael, Angelica, Tommy, Chucky, and them. You're not bringing them. Okay? This is all auntie vibes. Oh. Sorry. Love the kids. I'm like, Marty Marr love the kids. Miss Lowe love the kids. But they can't come to my events. I like to drink, okay, and they cannot. They have to go.
Yes.
We holler at them on another day. You plan an event and they for them. They do the baby showers and whatever kind of they do other stuff. The kids parties. That is for them. That's why you have kids parties. When we go to kids parties, we don't expect to do a whole bunch of adult shit at their parties.
I don't want to go to a lot of those.
But I'm saying actually for parents that go to have to, for the parents that have to go because you got to take your child. Yeah. It's not a bunch of adult like shit for adults to do at kids parties. So please, as a parent, do not expect to bring your child to a more, even if it's a more family-oriented event, and expect for adults to be more censored just because you have your child there. That is not fair. You need to be on the total opposite side of the room than me then, because I don't be doing adult shit.
I can't with shit. I hear you. But moving on to the next topic, Daddy's Girl segment. This is what we have now. Talking about the importance of dads and little girls' lives and what they mean to us. I'm sorry, y'all. My head is pounding.
Not Angelica and Susie going because they was her rats.
I'm screaming. Angelica was more so the hood rat than Susie was.
I was about to say, yeah.
Susie just put Angelica in her fucking place.
Susie wasn't dealing with her shit.
She wasn't.
She was not dealing with Angelica's shit.
Daddy's girls. Dads.
Angelica wasn't Daddy's girl, speaking of that.
Some of the greatest memories I have with my dad. Him teaching me how to write. Him reading to me. I remember for show and tell, I brought him for kindergarten. I brought him to school. I made him read my favorite story, Gus and the Firefly, to everybody in my class.
Oh, Gus and the Firefly.
Yes, Gus and the Firefly. Yes. So that was that. Yeah. My dad used to be like, he used to make me breakfast in the morning. Like I'm talking about, I was like 4 years old drinking hot tea with my fucking scrambled eggs and shit.
Oh, your little tea party.
Little tea parties.
Can I have a sport tea?
Taking walks. He took me everywhere. The littlest angel. I'm cracking up, Mom. You so funny. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my mom. But yeah, that's some of the best memories I have with my dad, like road trips and shit like that. I think dads are essential. Yeah. They really show you. They show you, you know, the things a man is supposed to do.
So they show you that your dad is the first man in your life. I always say my dad is the king.
Saltines. I'm sorry, though.
Oh, that would be great to bring them back. I considered those earlier. Yes, please. I think that for me specifically, I always like to say that my dad is the king of my heart. Like my dad is the first man that he's supposed to show you what a man's love is like Chuck was saying.
And the only man I'm in love with besides Jesus.
At this point, yes, that's very, very true. That's very, very true. Me and my dad were just talking about that the other day. We're a whole lot alike. Like I'm like mentally and emotionally my dad's twin. He's like my spirit angel. I just look more like my mother. That's like really the only thing. Like look like your mother, but you act like your father. That's just it. And it's special. My dad used to sing to me. I used to sleep with my dad. Yep. You know, all the time. My dad used to wash my hair. I wouldn't let nobody wash my hair besides my dad. Like I literally used to throw a fit. Like if somebody else tried to wash my hair. And literally, it was a running joke in my family about my line. Like, no, my daddy washed my hair already. Like that's how I used to say. So it's amazing, like, and even though, you know, no relationship is perfect, like, even with your parents, people go through things, you go through things with your parents, but it's nothing like that love of having a dad, knowing that you have that one man in your life, like you said, besides Jesus. It's the smoking gun for me. Yes. You're the only one that I love.
Those dads and the little Jesus.
Yes, you know, that's our shit. So, yes, I think that nothing warms my heart more than to see a father love his children.
Yes. And when a dad has a daughter and you see how he is wrapped completely around his finger, it's oh my God. And I love to see father-son relationships too. Oh my God, it really made me like well up a little bit the other day. I saw a dad walking down the street holding his son's hand. They look just alike. They both had their little dreadlocks. They both was wearing this like little same outfit. And you know, he was talking to him and walking and talking to him, speaking life into him, really, honestly. And he was, I don't know what exactly, how their conversation was going verbatim, but by the time they got to the corner to wait for the light to turn green, he kneeled down and was saying something to him, and he kissed him on his cheek. Girl, when I say, That makes my heart pitter patter. Love on your sons. A lot of men, I realize, and honestly, and females, like, look at me like when they need love. Like, a lot of black men need more love than we're giving them. So let's take the time out to honestly try to give them some of that. Even if it's just more of a listening ear. Figure out what it is that he needs and listen. Learn from your dad. Ask your daddy. And if he ain't around, ask somebody who's in your life that's like a father figure. What can women do? What do y'all need from us? How can we make our dynamic with you guys better? Excuse me.
You better preach, girl.
Oh, excuse me, y'all. Sorry, that whiskey's making me burp. Little migraine. Trying to get rid of it. I don't know how this is going to help, but somebody said the doctor ordered double shot whiskey.
But now we know what's in our cups, so you guys know what we like.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Well, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was so heartbreaking for me to see George Floyd's daughter do that closing statement, because you can tell that she actually misses those moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know? She said, my dad used to read to me, he used to help me brush my teeth, and all that. I'm just like, ugh. And he took that away from her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She'll never have that. She can't do daddy-daughter dances. She won't have him see her off on her prom. She won't have him see her get married. To be in the working world, see what the woman that she becomes. If she becomes a mother, to be a grandfather, like, it's just, oh my gosh. I feel bad for people that get robbed of that, because I feel like one of my favorite things about my dad right now is seeing him be a grandfather. It's so amazing. Like, he really loves it. Like, I can tell that he really thoroughly enjoys it, and he loves it. Like, he really loves the kids. It's something different for him, because he's so young. Like, my dad still think he's 21 years old. But you can tell that he really, like, yes, he's out here
getting down. Them knees still work, yo.
But you can really tell, just to see that, and it's just like, oh, wow. Like, now I get to see a different side of you, and it's like, wow, it's really like,
oh, and it's interesting that you say that, because I literally just said to my parents, like, recently, both of them over the last week, like, y'all asses is over the hill, y'all over 50, y'all ain't gonna be grandparents no time soon. And I kind of fussed at my mom a little bit, because my mom helps out like different friends and family members with like babysitting young children, and I always get upset because I feel like she's going to burn herself out. And I get upset, and I said, that's not fair, because when you finally do have grandchildren, you're not going to have the energy for them. I said, and although I don't intend to have children, my energy is for my brothers, and that's where the parentified child, that older sibling thing kicks in. I'm like, you're not going to be burnt out for my fucking nieces and nephews.
Absolutely, I ain't playing that.
Because that's what I was
because I know my sister going to have kids. My sister wants kids, right, so mom save your energy.
Neither one of my brothers have children right now, but one is under 18, so he better not. Are we going to fight? Yeah, that's what you're saying. My wife's going to fight. But nevertheless, neither one of my brothers right now have children, so I kind of, like I said, I'm kind of riding and advocating for them. Both of my parents like to travel. They travel a lot as well, so I'm just like, y'all not even realistically in grandparent mode.
Yeah. For
real. Like, I'm like, y'all would probably fall off the face of the earth if any one of your children came to you right now and told you that they were expecting.
Yeah, I don't think my dad is neither, because he call him grandpa.
Yeah, my mom has already said it. She's like, I'm not doing the grandmom thing when I do. Yeah, I like the little grandmom thing, and I have a good friend, funny. She calls her grandma Diva, and I think that's the cutest thing.
I was going to say the same thing too. My coworker was like that. All her grandkids call her Diva.
I think that's so cute, because she's like, my grandma was not old. I mean, she's not, and I don't think just over 50 or 50. I don't think 50 is old. I really don't. So I understand. I probably would be the same way, to be honest, with me and my personality.
My parents are full of life, yes.
Right. So I'm like, y'all not even in grandparent status mode. Like, so just save your energy. They'll be old grandparents. Like, by the time they actually become grandparents.
Like, legitimately.
Yeah, like, I'm like, y'all probably ain't going to do that. Y'all probably be damn near retired. If not retired at that point. Because, again, it's not coming from me. But, men can make as many children as they want. And I'm the only girl, so I got 2 boys under me that can.
So they're oiled.
Correct. So it is what it is. So I will say, as we're talking on the Daddy's Girl segment, and we're talking about our dad, I didn't get a chance to enjoy my Father's Day with my father, but we did get a chance to catch up over, over the course of the last couple of days within the week of Father's Day, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with my dad as a full-blown adult. Me and my father still do daddy-daughter dates. And I think, again, that's essential for women, even as, it's not just what you teach a child. It's not just what you teach a child when they're young, but it's also, I go through different life experiences. Both my parents have been married twice, so there's different things that I'm now going through. They still already been my age, so there's different things that I'm going through that I may want to talk about or ask advice about, because he may or may not have gone through and experienced it. Or I may be going through different things with men, and I may need some advice. Well, this is going on, like, what is normally you guys' perspective when da-da-da-da? So, especially because I'm a woman who, unfortunately, I date men that are close to my parents or not my parents' age. So, for me, it's actually important to talk to my parents about, as my dad especially, about the opposite sex.
Somebody that has that same mindset.
Exactly, had that same experience as been here that long.
They give less fucks than we do.
Girl,
they do.
When I tell you they do.
I'm trying to get to that point though.
But my
dad is the most unbothered person I ever met in the history of niggerdom. I'm sorry,
I ain't good. Let me come on, because I was about to dig my
head. I'm hungry, my fault. Like, but I don't want to. You know how you get a migraine, you nauseous, and you don't want to eat a whole meal, but you still need to put something on your stomach. No, I took 3. It's alright. I don't want to get full of burgers. I'm gonna figure out what I want. Sorry, y'all. To come to you with my ailments, it's okay. But just know.
I'm trying to look out for my friend. My friend don't feel good. She gotta be alright. But yes, I did. And we say that a lot about our dads. We feel like, and as long as we've been friends, I'm gonna just go ahead and share this. As long as me and Chuck have been friends, our fathers have never met. Our moms have. Our moms are friends. They know each other well, but our fathers have actually never met, and it's unfortunate. Crazy enough, our parents are a lot alike. Like our mothers are actually, they have similar personalities and ways and characters, and so are our fathers. And like Chuck just said, he's one of the most unbothered people that I have ever met in life. And I've had conversations with my dad, and like I told you guys, we're emotional and mental twins. And he said, and looked me dead in my eyes, said different things like, well, how are you like this? How are you this way? You're so much like me. And specifically his exact words were, you're so much like me, but you're a woman. And it mind bothers him. We actually had a conversation when we got together this week, and he said, we were talking about one of our similarities. He said, why are we like that? That's exactly what he said. He said, why are we like that? You the original copy, and you ain't me. He said, why are we like this? He said, why are we just able to do this? That's why I said, I don't know. And that's what I said, I don't know. I said, I get it from you. And some things you don't realize that are actually hereditary. Some characteristics you don't realize about your children you pass down are hereditary, because there are a lot of dynamics, and I can hear my mom's voice ringing in my head now.
Like the freedom.
There's a period of time where me and my dad were not as close, because we had our issues. We all have our issues. And my mom used to always say, growing up, when I was doing different things, I don't know how the hell you picked up this characteristic of your father when you were around him long enough to see that, like, or you didn't even pick that up from him, like he didn't even show you that side of him. How did you even? How did this come about? And I'm like, I feel like it's like that when it comes to my little sister Autumn, cause she has some shit. It's some shit I do that I act like my dad. For me personally, I'm a mixture of both parents. I'm an even keel mixture when it comes to, especially when it comes to looks now, because now I'm starting to look like my mom too as I get older. I do look just like my dad, but I look like my mom too. But my personality, like, I understand where you're coming from, because there's certain shit that my sister do, and she's like, yo, if you are not your dad's child, oh my God, I know my mom used to be so mad. I don't see how y'all do it sometimes, because I be like, you know what, I give up. Get out, turn the lights off, don't come back. Because I don't understand. You don't even know that about your dad or whatever like that. You know how they just know them differently than we do. It's like, how are you responding this way when you don't even know what it is to go through or be dealing with somebody on that kind of level? It's so weird. I take my hat off to them, but I definitely think that dads are definitely important. I think that each parent plays a specific role in your life.
One parent isn't more important than the other. They both have an equal level of importance to you for different reasons.
Let's stop saying that. Mm-hmm. Mother's Day is not more important than Father's Day. Mothers are not more important than a father to a child than their. Mm-hmm. I know what I was trying to say. Yes.
And fathers have just as much as right to their child as the mother does.
Because I know a lot of full-time dads.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a lot of great ones.
Yes. So we're not going to do that. So while we saying that, shout out to all the good dads. We had quite a few friends who are great fathers. So shout out to you guys. Mm-hmm. Happy belated Father's Day. If you didn't hear from us or you didn't see a post from us,
they ain't perfect, but they good. They good.
Nobody's perfect, but I know some damn good dads.
I have an excellent father. Yes,
And I can say the same. I can say that both of our fathers are there for us.
Yes, they are.
We need them.
My daddy love me.
Yes, my daddy love me. That's why I like to tell bitches, listen. And you can't always say that, a woman's behavior is because, you can tell she was missing her dad when she was young. No, bitch.
Some of us just good and ignorant.
Yeah, good and ignorant. We
have our dad. We actually have our dad's traits in some areas.
Right. And that's why y'all niggas be bad.
Like, what did she just pull me on me? Stop.
And that's on gang. That's what we do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. So while we're on the topic of parents and parenting and things like that, we're going to segue right into the next topic. I'm gonna just go ahead and type it in here because we ain't been typing them in. I'm gonna type him in real quick for us. Hold up. Let me let y'all know what's going on. This is the next topic. Jealous parents. Mm. There is a such thing, and I need people to understand. Some people really just be trying to live vicariously through their kids, and it just don't be working out. It's like, you want to know what the prime example of what I'm trying to portray to you here is pageant mom syndrome. You ever see, those pageant moms where they've got the whole John Benet Ramsey look going on, their powdered cheeks and the lip gloss and the big spritz out hair, the talent shows, the frilly socks, the gowns, the shoes, shit like that. And it's kind of like they rule your life based on what they felt like they wanted to be, and they see so much of themselves in you sometimes to the point where it's just like, whoa, like they're not you, they're still an individual person. They're going to have traits that you have, but you got to realize they're growing up at a different day and age and a different time than you are. So their experience, along with some of what the fuck you went through, is going to help them go a long way. Not just trying to make them live your life. It's just it's crazy. I feel like people need to know the difference between a parent that means well and a parent that is actually fucking jealous of you. It's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Accept it.
You know who I think of?
Hey to those just joining in.
And I'm not sure how many people know about, her personal history, but one of the biggest stars of our generation and the generation before is her mother, who I think about immediately when we bring up this topic of jealous parents, Whitney Houston.
Oh, Lord.
Whitney Houston's mother.
It was a problem.
She was one of the most, I feel like, one of the most jealous parents, that anybody can ever see. And then we saw publicly, like, when let's say anybody who knows anything about Whitney and the personal side and the different battles that she struggled with behind the scenes and know about her life growing up, her mother was a singer as well. Her mother just did not make it like Whitney did. And when your dream and your goal and your aspiration is to be one of the biggest singers of all time, and it ends up being that your daughter, it
has to be humbling. It has to be very humbling.
Not just singer, one of the biggest voices
of all time.
To date. To date.
Ain't nobody, still ain't nobody touching her national anthem.
To date.
Nobody.
To date. So when you say anybody who knows anything about her, it's just she wrote, a book about how she felt about her. Her mother was very sheltering during some of the most struggling times in Whitney's life. Her mother just kind of stayed away from her. I just don't want to deal with that. But not understanding that a mother's love is what possibly could have supported and helped her through the struggle that she was going through. And I'm, needless to say, I'm not a fan of Miss Houston.
And that's fine. That's okay.
Not Whitney, her mother. Let's be clear.
I just want people to really like take that in, take it for what it is. Like,
right, and Bobby shared a lot of that as well when we talked about that history. When you watch Whitney documentaries, if you watch Whitney, the last documentary, I believe that came out between 2018 and now, you'll see a lot of it. When you even see pictures of her mother and their dynamic and the energy that she brought when you look at her dynamic, the documentaries, it's just like, she looks like a woman who did not like her daughter. The energy that she brought. It brought the energy of...
That's the most disheartening thing. Jealousy of your own.
And
that is sad.
And watching I watched a documentary like several months back, and just watching it and looking at her mom, I was like, you can just tell she wasn't fond of her. And I get it. We all do things that our parents don't like. Mm-hmm. We all tried our parents on more than one occasion. But one thing that my mother, even as an adult, still now to this day, that she always continued to instill in me was that I'm going to love you no matter what you do. I'm going to love you no matter what. My goal as a parent is to always, try to make sure to steer you in the right direction. I told you certain things up until this point, but my job is to love you. It's not to do everything for you. That's not what I'm saying when I say love you. But my job is to love you. And I just didn't feel that from her. Like, I never did. Me and my mom had a conversation about that over here because ironically, our mom share names. And we have a conversation about that often because, we're both Whitney Houston fans and, understand the history of her life. And,
this is my mom, baby Whitney back in the day.
Yeah, come on. And I don't like the fact that she had to go through that. And I do feel like a lot of that, of course, contributed to her substance abuse and then
ultimately. Because it's imagine you feeling deep, like that's like crazy. That has to be psychologically very traumatic because it's just like, I'm only here because you quote unquote wanted me here. So why do you hate me again? What can I do? Because all a parent, I swear I'm not even kidding. Children really are born loving their parents. They are born loving you. It's what you do from after that. When they open their eyes and they get popped on the butt, it's from that first breath on out what you do that shapes and molds how they respond to you from that point on out. Because in the womb, I really do truly believe that they love you from the womb. That can change. and for some people really don't. Some people can just say fuck you, and some people really just love their family that much that they just can't do it. But I mean, I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, there is a such thing as your parent being jealous, and know the difference and separate yourself from it. And don't be a victim to that. You want to know why? Because you didn't ask to be here. And I'm not saying you can't love your parent from a distance, but just know that they're human too, and they can be fucked up too. Just because they're a parent don't mean they perfect. Parent, perfect. Two separate words. There it is. Sorry, y'all.
For separating peas.
Oh, damn, that was the last topic. Sorry, no one like her. No one. Yeah.
It's no one like Whitney. No one's like Whitney.
It's no one like her. It's no one. That's my aunt for life. Like her and Mary J. Blige. Oh my gosh, my aunt.
Oh man, and
you're perfect.
One of our tribe members said they perfect. Okay.
You're not perfect.
Okay, perfect tribe.
Nobody's perfect.
We're gonna let you have it in your head. You are. So we'll let you have that. We're not going to negate that. I'm not arguing with your personalities today, tribe member. Okay. But absolutely, it is. Parents, your children cannot live. You can't live vicariously through them. Your children are separate people as much as they love you. They are separate people, and you cannot push your personal agendas on them. Mm-hmm. You can pray and you can want as much abundance of things of life for them as you wish. But once they get a certain age, and even before then, just developing their character. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
It can change. They'll love you.
You can break their spirit. Yeah.
What you desire for them, mm-hmm. and what they desire for themselves, and what God desires for them are three different things.
Unrealistic expectations.
So we just have to kind of roll with the punches, and that's just the dynamic of life. Period. Mm-hmm. That's what we call life. Rolling with the punches on what you desire for somebody, yourself, what somebody else desires for you, and what God's plans are. That's just it. That's the circle of life.
God's plan.
Yep. Come on,
Sorry.
Drake.
My fault.
Drake. Drake. Yo, versus. Can we take about versus?
Yeah, first of all, let's can we talk about that shit was so damn entertaining, y'all.
And I knew it was going to be the most.
First of all this shit right here hurt. All this.
To date.
All this right here
to date.
To this right here sore, and this right here, and this right here sore, and this little section of me is sore right here. Cause I was all night.
This bitch, you.
It was all the hits back to back for me.
First
but the biggest moment
that
about
I thought he didn't play certain songs and I missed it.
No, yeah.
Earlier, that's why I did.
It was the fact that he brought Romeo out on stage, and the fact that it's been 20 years. Cause we all know we 32 now. Mm-hmm. We was like 12, 13 when they first came out. Shit was popping, shit was jumping. Niggas was not on the same team. They was all trying to get the little girly girls.
Was trying to get them to beef.
And that shit was like, oh Romeo. Then that shit was like, bounce with me. Then that shit was like, I like it.
All I wanna do is see you bounce with me, bounce with me.
Oh my goodness! And the best part about it was they asked Sammy to be on stage too.
Yes, but he couldn't make it. I love that. Oh, you took the fucking thought right out of my head. I was so happy to see that they really tried to incorporate everybody from that time. But he wanted him on there for a little hardball and fucking kiss me through the phone with my.
I see you later on.
Girl, I was so excited and I was so happy.
And Omarion came out. Juicy J came out.
Let me just say this. It was a couple of fine ass niggas on there.
First of all, let me tell you about Romeo and how he's his fine ass. I'm just gonna go ahead and say
Bow Wow, he gained a little weight. Bow Wow still ain't ugly.
Bow Wow, Bow Wow's not. Shot's not ugly either.
Shot ain't.
But it's Romeo for me.
Ooh. And when I tell you his presence and his demeanor,
everything.
That's about Romeo.
That is
Percy Miller's son.
And that's
and like he bring BDE. And for anybody who does not know what that means, that is big dick energy.
Girl! Bruh, pause. Press the pause button. Look, pause. Look.
I know we talking about the dads today. I don't know who Romeo first big Bible deal is. Right?
I don't want his deity. I want him.
Ooh. Yeah, Uncle P. I love Uncle P though. I'm sorry. I'm saying Uncle P, but I beg Master P too.
Right. Yep. And what we mean by BDE is a man who's very sure of himself, that moves in a certain way.
And we can also say GDE, because even if it's not big to somebody else, that you give good energy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
you're not toxic.
Good. You're not toxic. Like, it gives, when it's time to go down, it goes in.
When you walk into a room,
serious.
People notice you. It's like you command certain attention. Certain personalities do that.
He got, what Beyonce say, he got a big ego. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yes.
He talks like this because he can be.
It was really Romeo for me.
Everybody listen to.
Master P brings it. Yes, he does.
Brings it.
It was the Rex Snacks on stage for me.
Bitch,
it was the Rex Snacks. It was the Rex Snacks on stage for me. Yo, that was the funniest shit ever.
I love some of the
people say, y'all know we stay promoting shit. I was cracking up. I'm like, yes, but as y'all should though.
Right, that's part of the game. That's their business. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I listen because I love me some Cardi B.
Some people wasn't here for it, but I was. I felt like it was a big moment for them. I felt like the fact that they was able to hug it out, talk about, unity.
It was a big thing.
It was a big thing. It was a big thing for our culture, honestly.
Yeah.
The 30-somethings, the 30-ish and 30-plus-ish. It was.
You between about 27, 28,
and
35, that 5-year range.
Yeah, you knew
that was up. Yeah, you knew what was up. Yeah. And let's be clear, that fucking verses just made us even more excited for those of us who did not make it to the Millennium Tour.
Oh yeah, bitch, because our ticket is
post-COVID, that Millennium Tour now gonna go up. Okay?
Yeah.
When I say up, we going up and we stuck heaven level, okay?
Yes.
It's heaven level with stuff. And that's just it. And I'm gonna be in here. They're not coming to Philadelphia. If anybody has checked the concert date, if you check the date, that was
like Baltimore. I think you have to go to Baltimore.
It's either Baltimore or
New York, probably.
It's either Baltimore or
Ohio,
New York. So anybody who checked the date who lives here in Philadelphia with us, y'all know we hold the city down. listen, we gonna have to do one little millennium meetup, okay, and go on down to the concert, cause we know we can put together a little ride and going down to the concert.
Chrissy and Maline?
Nope.
Chrissy and Maline?
Nope.
What movie was that from? He was like,
who
Patrick
said that shit?
He was like, Patrick and Maline.
Nope.
Patrick and Maline.
Nope.
Yo, that's my shit.
If from anybody who don't know what movie that from is, I'ma just go ahead and tell you. It's from Two Can Play That Game.
Yes.
What the freak?
Yes.
Like, I feel like my good girlfriend here, when I do funny lines like that from a movie, a TV show, a commercial or whatever, Jack is the only person who fucking understands. It's like,
Should
you
be
don't
funny.
know where that's from.
Should be funny.
Like, even when it comes from like skits from songs or old music videos, like
it could be a commercial.
that should be like Buster. Ding the camera. Remember the loud thick ass places?
Yes. You did. I was cracking up. That shit was funny.
I'm sorry, yo.
Listen.
But that's the kind of shit that we do. So if we ask y'all who said it, listen, y'all might have to be prepared for that. Guess who said that shit?
That is the new segment. Sorry, we just ain't want to do it in the beginning because that's when it wasn't supposed to happen, and we just wanted to roll into the topics. So who said it?
Yep.
Who said it?
So just to play around a little bit with the segment, we talked about dads today, and talked about jealous parents. So let me see if you can guess where this line from. No, you owe me an apology. I mean, after all these years, you ain't gonna tell me I got people, children, babies.
Is that Kevin Hart?
Mm-mm.
Burning Man?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Martin. The episode where he thought he had a 10-year-old
Oh,
son.
shit, with the little boy?
With the little boy. He was like, I'm sorry to lie to you, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona.
Tanya, you know, I love you, Mama.
That's my shit. So we just wanted to play around with that for a little bit. That is the new segment that's going to come. So when we have something a little bit, we're going to figure out, see if we can figure out each other, and to see if the audience can figure out who said it when we bring a line to the live. Okay?
Period.
So now that we got it out the way, look forward more to that. Definitely look forward more to interesting things that we have coming up in the polls throughout the week. Know when we're going live and know when we're not, because that's going to be coming up soon as well. So we need the tribe to pay attention. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, one more thing I want to add to that is, just like we said last week, we had, we ran into a little life happened. So yeah. That's the only reason why the other episode isn't up on YouTube right now, because life happened.
I apologize.
That same day when we got off of live happened. Matter of fact, the next morning, I'm lying. The next morning, life happened a lot.
But it's coming.
It's coming though. We're recording right now. I'm glad y'all, are here. Y'all excited. Y'all engaged with us. We're so happy.
We love it. We love
it. This is something, that we have been wanting to do for a while, and we still gonna kill it. So y'all know where to be at. It's only gonna get better from here, y'all. So before we get out of here, y'all already know what we gotta do. Y'all already know every single week we gotta
shout somebody.
We gotta shout somebody out.
Gotta shout.
It wouldn't be right without us shouting out somebody. So bow, 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 bow.
That was my ball. I was trying to remember that a couple weeks ago and I couldn't. That was my little beat that I came up with.
Girl, we is not Scott Storage. We gonna leave that where it's at.
Scott for me.
So the first person we want to announce is Design Your Identity.
Ooh.
It's my homie from middle school, should I say. He has his own clothing line, Desmond Nolan.
Go back there for it?
Custom pieces, yes, from middle school.
Ooh.
He has his own sneaker out, black owned. He's very innovative. I love it. He paints. He's very creative. He's such a creative soul. Go check his page out. See what he has to offer. Like I said, he got a sneaker out. I've seen it recently. He rocks his own sneak.
That's what's up.
He customized. I've seen him customize people's Timberland boots, people's sneakers, like Chuck Taylors, Air Forces, all types of shit. So if you're into that type of stuff, he does that kind of thing. He makes t-shirts. He has his own clothing line, all that kind of stuff. Go check him out and see what he has, because he has some nice custom pieces. And then our next
boss of the week, I was busy talking shit. Well, not talking shit. I was busy shocked to say, oh my God, you knew Design Your Identity since middle school. Well, our next boss of the week is the Weekender Trips. That is owned by Mr. Raheem Man that I actually knew since middle school too.
Oh, look at that. We gotta put the movies on. It's only
so
right.
We gotta put our friends on, and that's what we are about. We are about putting on our friends and small businesses, black businesses within our community. Shout out to the Weekender Trips. They are a dope travel company. He puts together different trips from domestic to international on top of across the world. He actually has this one big trip that I'm definitely interested in going on. He has like a European kind of trip where he does like multiple countries within like a certain amount of time. So shout out to the Weekend Trips if you're looking for a dope vibe, a dope event. Black owned travel company. So look into them if you're not looking to plan anything on your own specifically because you don't know how to do it. They already put together the itinerary for you. Just kind of look and see what they have coming up soon. They also have Weekend Trip paraphernalia. So we need your little weekend bag, girls. Y'all know how we need a little weekend bag to go out real fast. A little quick overnight trip. They got those for you, so please check out their merchandise on their website as well. That is the Weekender for your weekend bag trips. Okay, you guys. So we tag both individuals at the bottom of the screen so you guys can check them out. We will also be posting them, so look out for that in our stories for Bosses of the Week so you can know where to find them. And like I said, I'm so shocked that I didn't realize that we both knew them for such a long time. They're like lifelong friends technically to us. So big shout outs to you guys because again that's what we are here for, to show the love across the community, shoot domestically and hopefully soon internationally. So anybody we know internationally, we're gonna shout you out, too. It's coming up.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
Is there anything else you have for the people tonight, Chuck, before we conclude?
No, we don't. Well, we announcing another late night live soon, though. I know that.
Yes, we will because that shit be a vibe. Live after dark, definitely be a vibe.
Definitely.
So please stay tuned and look out for that because shit get a little bit spicy and at the nightly, okay? Like
and let us know. We're gonna put a poll up. Let us know what time you prefer. Do you prefer it later? Or do you prefer the new time we just did last week? Because we usually do it at 10 and we did it at 9 last week. But a lot of people didn't get on until like the regular time that we always go live. I don't know if it was just like the day, but let us know what y'all prefer. Whatever.
Also, if you have any topics that you guys want us to bid on, dig in on specifically, again, don't forget to send it to us. Anything you want to hear us talk about. Or, like I said, going on, send them to us.
Yes, and don't be afraid to DM us, email us, thopowerhouse@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And DM us on our page, To Each His Own Podcast. I'm Sunkissed Chop.
I'm Miss Lomax, and together,
we are To Each His Own. And y'all make sure y'all have a good week.
Yes, we are logging out, y'all. Good night.